ChatGPT, relate ACIM to the movie Copying Beethoven. Copying Beethoven through the lens of A Course in Miracles, ACIM. Copying Beethoven is a moving story about creativity, inspiration, genius, collaboration, humility, and the relationship between the personal self and something greater that seeks expression through it. Through the lens of A Course in Miracles, ACIM, it becomes a beautiful meditation on divine inspiration and the recognition that true creation comes through us rather than from us. At its heart, the movie asks, where does inspiration come from? ACIM answers, true creation extends from God through the mind aligned with spirit, the myth of the individual genius. The world often portrays Beethoven as a solitary genius, a singular source of extraordinary creativity. ACIM gently challenges this idea. The Course teaches that true creation is not personal. It flows through the mind when obstacles to love are removed. The movie beautifully explores this mystery. Inspiration versus possession. Throughout the film, music appears less like something Beethoven owns and more like something he receives. There are moments when he seems to be listening rather than inventing, receiving rather than producing. ACIM teaches that revelation and inspiration arise when the mind becomes willing to listen. The movie repeatedly points toward this experience. The collaborative venture. One of the most ACIM-like themes is the relationship between Beethoven and Anna. The movie is called Copying Beethoven, yet the story gradually reveals that creation is not an isolated process. There is joining, support, collaboration, shared purpose. ACIM teaches that awakening is a collaborative venture. The movie beautifully reflects this principle. The ego and specialness. Beethoven struggles with pride, frustration, anger, and isolation. The ego often identifies with special talents and accomplishments. ACIM teaches that specialness separates. Even extraordinary gifts can become barriers if they reinforce separation. The movie honestly portrays this tension. Hearing beyond the ears. One of the deepest symbols in the film is Beethoven's deafness. As his physical hearing diminishes, another kind of listening emerges. ACIM teaches that spiritual vision and spiritual hearing are not dependent upon the body's senses. The movie beautifully symbolizes this shift from external perception to inner knowing. Creation as extension. Music throughout the film acts as an extension of something vast, something universal, something beyond personality. ACIM teaches that creation extends naturally from love. The movie repeatedly suggests that great art arises when the personal self steps aside. Humility. True humility appears throughout the story, not self-deprecation, not weakness, but recognition that the source of greatness is not personal ownership. ACIM teaches that humility recognizes God's strength rather than the ego's achievements. The movie beautifully illustrates this lesson. The Symphony of Joining. The famous performance scenes symbolize joining. Many musicians, one purpose, many instruments, one expression. ACIM teaches that heaven is perfect collaboration. The movie repeatedly reflects this harmony. Beyond the artist, by the end of the film, the focus subtly shifts. The question is no longer who created this. The deeper question becomes what is trying to express itself. ACIM consistently directs attention away from personal authorship toward divine extension. The movie beautifully points in this direction. The central reflection. The ego watches Copying Beethoven and asks, how can I become great? How can I be recognized? What makes me special? The Holy Spirit watches Copying Beethoven and asks, can I become willing to let inspiration flow through me? Viewed through ACIM, the movie becomes a beautiful lesson about creativity, humility, and divine inspiration. Beethoven's music symbolizes the extension of something far greater than personal accomplishment. The deepest message may be, the ego seeks ownership, recognition, and specialness. The Holy Spirit teaches that true creation is an extension of love itself. When the mind becomes willing to listen, inspiration flows naturally. The greatest masterpieces are not personal achievements, but reflections of the divine harmony that is always seeking expression through every willing mind. Go to mwge.org to find some movie clips and a brief write-up by David Hoffmeister.